Thank you for joining me. My name is Keith Danielson, and today we're going to be going over operating leverage, financial leverage, and optimal capital structure for Powerline Network Corporation, also referred to as PNC. A little background information on the company in question: Power Network Corporation, subsidiary of Router. Router is a wholly owned subsidiary of PNC. This company provides specialized routers to all their customers, and through this, their president, Frank Garcia, has been pushing to expand and modernize the company in the hopes and of a goal of finalizing a operation plan as well as a capital structure as they look to sell shares here in an initial public offering here soon. A little breakdown of the spin-off plans in question: Plan L and Plan H. As you can see, Plan L focuses more on a lower fixed costs, a higher variable costs, and focuses on manufacturing for the most part being outsourced, whereas Plan H focuses on a higher fixed costs, lower variable costs with in-house manufacture. In this next slide, we are looking at plan data. As you can see, Plan L for the most part outweighs Plan H in most categories, such as required capital and total fixed operational costs. The only areas really where Plan H has outperformed Plan L is in their variable cost per unit at $150 compared to $329, and in the maximum units of capacity, where Plan H has a maximum unit capacity of 35,000 compared to 20,000 for Plan L. This next slide, we are looking at the unleveraged long-term debt of Plan L and Plan H, where you can see in column 7 we are realizing net income, and you can see that as the product demand increases, of course, the net income is going to increase and it eventually plateaus. In column 8, we can see that we are calculating the return on equity percent, and we are expecting a return on equity for Plan L of 14.8% compared to a return on equity of 14.2% in Plan H. So right there, Plan L is outperforming Plan H again, not just based off the input data, but now here in the unleveraged long-term debt source section, it's still outperforming Plan H. And you can see this is true, obviously, as well in the return on investment capital with a percentage of 14.8 compared to a percentage of 14.16. In this next slide, we're looking at our leveraged long-term debt. Here, both plans are looking at a 40% long-term debt percentage. Our return on equity percentage for Plan H is 21.3% compared to a lower return on equity of 20.16% in Plan H. We can also see that our return on investment capital is somewhat a mirror image, close at 12.7% for Plan L compared to 12.1% for Plan H. So for the most part, in all categories so far, Plan L has been the dominant of the two plans. In this slide, we are looking at one of the last parts of the optimal structure analysis. Here we are looking at the optimal capital structure analysis for Plan L, where you can see we are calculating the weighted average cost of capital in column 7. We are able to determine that the lowest weighted average cost of capital, in this case, in turn, in column 8, is the highest value of the firm. This is reiterated with the illustration below the table. As you can see in the graph, it peaks out at right around 40%. This next slide is looking at the optimal structure for Plan H. Once again, we're calculating the weighted average cost of capital here in column 7. And once again, at 40%, we can see that our lowest weighted average cost of capital percentage is is going to be equivalent to our highest value of the firm. And this is once again reiterated in the image below. In conclusion, as for a recommendation, I would recommend that PNC as a company choose Plan L. This plan has a lower required capital requirement. They have lower fixed costs, as well as a more consistent value of firm versus percent of debt. This concludes my presentation on operating leverage, financial leverage, and optimal capital structure for Powerline Network Corporation. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.